not many people seem to be buying the story that Texas Tech Board of Regent Chairman Rick Francis is selling. Hey everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Well, Chairman of the Texas Tech Board of Regents Rick Francis wrote to the Avalanche Journal, the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, an opinion piece basically saying that the reason why Robert Duncan is no longer Chancellor of Texas Tech University was because of budgetary issues and the fact that the budget and the system administrative budget was growing too quickly. The Lubbock Avalanche Journal, in an article posted later on Tuesday, sort of debunked that whole statement and that argument from Rick Francis. I'll read here from Karen Michael at the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Here's what she writes. The Texas Tech University System Board of Regents President Rick Francis framed outgoing Chancellor Robert Duncan's seemingly hasty departure as a result of the Regents' growing concerns over the system's rising budget. Regents wrote in an editorial submitted on late Monday to the AJ that the Regents pushed back after what he called 3 years of double-digit increases in the system's administrative budget starting in the 2017-2018 budget cycle. But in late August of 2016, when there was a double-digit increase, that came as Duncan marches second year on the job. Francis reminisced about a time in 2005 when the system had no funding at all. Quote, "As we walked the legislative halls, I would talk to people. They would say, you don't have a system. You have two schools across the street from each other. What do you even have a chancellor for?" He said, "It's a very different animal today, one that certainly has. We fulfilled the destiny that under President Monfort, then Chancellor Monfort, and the Regents set forth to grow this system, spread the impact of Texas Tech University far beyond Lubbock, and today it's truly a system that provides an educational and medical health opportunities for all of West Texas." That was the year Tech Regents, again, this from the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, that was the year Tech Regents proved an 11.63% increase for the Tech System Administration with a budget of $25.37 million. Overall, the entire budget for the system and its four universities increased $107.55 million to $2.003 billion, with the tech administrative budget accounting for less than 1.3% of the total system-wide budget. All right. So no Regents, and you know, the AJ points this out. At that time, no Regents came out publicly against the increase to the tech system administration. No one came out against that, and no one has come out against it until yesterday when Rick Francis, chairman of the Texas Tech Board of Regents, wrote an editorial blaming that for the departure of Chancellor Robert Duncan. So let's think about this for a little bit. You have the Regents right now who are blaming a budgetary reason for Chancellor Duncan leaving. A budgetary reason that only accounts for about 1.37% of the overall Texas Tech system budget. That's why you get rid of a chancellor? Nobody's buying it. Nobody is buying what you're selling. And even if that were true, why did it take you over a week, Texas Tech Regents, to come out and say so? Why did it take a week for Rick Francis, chairman of the board, to come out and say a word about this? You're telling me that alumni and folks in Lubbock, folks throughout West Texas, are supposed to believe that, and maybe it's true, but we're supposed to believe that a budgetary reason, a 1% of the budget, is the reason why you guys wanted to get rid of a chancellor going into the upcoming legislative session who has good relationships on both sides of the aisle, who was able to raise millions and millions and millions of dollars for Texas Tech University, more money than anybody else has raised, and you get rid of them because of 1% of the budget? Really? That's why? It's not because of the vet school that has received pressure from all over the state, from influential people from all over the state who have told you guys to kill the vet school? That's not why. Instead, it's because of 1% of the budget. Doesn't seem like the AJ is buying it. I'm not buying it. And there are a lot of other people who aren't buying it either. My recommendation to the Texas Tech Board of Regents is to come out, do a press conference, take questions from those in the media, and maybe then you will be believed. Also, I'd like to hear a little bit from Robert Duncan. What about you? Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO.